What's up, guys? Crack back with another pack. Okay, today we got Miss Fani Willis back in the news. She's standing on her square like I've been telling you guys. I believe we were the first people here at Audio Crack 22 to bring you Miss Fani Willis. If you haven't seen our Fani Willis videos, please visit the playlist, YSL Indictment, and you'll see who Fani Willis is from the beginning. And now she's came back out with some more accusations, I'll say, of some upcoming events that's going to happen. And we're going to go over like we always do. Before we do that, I want to shout out Brazy Media. I want y'all to go follow Brazy Media on YouTube. Sometimes when I'm not inspired, my boy will hit me and throw me the alley-oop. And he threw me the alley-oop on this one, so salute to you. So now we're going to get into this clip like we always do. You know, we're going to start from the beginning and then come back and talk about it. Let's get to that clip now.
Recent months, you've had two high-profile gang racketeering cases. There going to be more?
Oh, in the next 60 days, you'll see two more.
All I talk is crack, got to get the Rico. I put in the work and never, no nigga can never just say that I look.
Okay, as you can see, Miss Fanny's not playing. Like I've been telling y'all, I want you guys to understand that Miss Fani is standing on what she's standing on. And regardless if it's for political gain, it's still at the detriment of you young boys out here running these streets. So be careful what you're doing in Atlanta right now, because they watching close and looking for the next gang to take down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get to the full clip now, play it, and come back and talk about it like we always do. Let's get to that clip now.
Oh, it absolutely make the streets safer.
Georgia does not have a gang problem. Georgia has a gang crisis.
We're going to get the worst of the worst off of our streets. Those that are terrorizing our communities, being in gangs, committing violence against us.
What do gangs thrive on? Hyper-violent exhibits of force in public.
It's a new day in the city of Atlanta and the city of Atlanta Police Department. In fact, that we acknowledge the fact that we have a gang problem.
Atlanta Police Captain Ralph Woolfolk says soon after our interview, Atlanta Police, Fulton Sheriff's deputies, ATF, and prosecutors from the Fulton County DA and State AG would hit the street for the latest chapter of Operation Heatwave during the hot months of summer to try to make Atlanta's streets too hot for some of the city's most dangerous gang members.
Operation Heatwave's already having an impact. We were able to take out some of the highest ranking Rolling 60 Crip gang members here in the city of Atlanta. All of those individuals were no bonded at their next day in their court appearance for Fulton County DA.
Woolfolk says Heatwave uses numbers and police intel to focus on one geographic gang stronghold at a time.
There's a lot of research and back-end work that has been done to identify the specific gangs in which we are targeting and the specific bad actors that are playing in these specific spaces.
Our people are out on the street with the police department while we were making arrests.
And they know what's coming up in court.
And that Heatwave is one of two major gang efforts we got an inside look at in one day.
What these two things show you is that we've gotten serious about gangs and removing violent offenders from our community.
The other?
All showing the same hand sign, wearing the same colors, using the same terminology and language.
A crash course on gang cases by the Fulton County District Attorney's Office to investigators from across APD and other departments.
75 to 80% of the violent crime we have here, gang motivated.
Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis says the crash course grew out of a conversation with interim APD Chief Darren Shearbaum about the need for more gang warrants and in-depth gang investigations. Recent months, you've had two high-profile gang racketeering cases. There going to be more?
Oh, in the next 60 days, you'll see two more.
Operation Heatwave. So now we know that they got a full task force ready to go get these gang members, right? But it's funny that the captain of the police department, the first thing he said was that they now realize that they have a gang problem. Well, I find that kind of funny, because if you was already watching, or should I say investigating YSL for the last 10 years, also you had Hood Rich Pablo Juan, which went down for a gang indictment, and also YFN Lucci. How didn't you know that you had a gang problem? And also what's mind-boggling to me, too, is 75 to 85% of the violent crime is by gang members, and you didn't know that you had a gang problem? I find that hard to believe. If you really break them numbers down, 75 to 80% of the crime I mean, those numbers are inflated to me. I mean, that's just my opinion. I just don't see that, especially if from your words that you just now finding out that you got a gang problem. Now, Fani claims that within the next 60 days, we're going to see 2 more high-profile gang indictments, right? Now, I'm hearing all over the internet that it's Lil Baby, 4PF, or Lil Durk, right? Now, we're going to get into that now. I'm going to bring up this paperwork, and then we're going to talk about it. Let's do that now. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Audio Crack 22 on all platforms. Documents reveal rapper Lil Baby targeted by GBI. Rapper Lil Baby's 4PF, 4 Pockets Full, record label identified as a street gang and leaked GBI documents that also list rapper Young Thug's label. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, is throwing a wide net over dozens of street gangs masquerading as rap record labels in Atlanta. The GBI says gangbangers turned rappers in Atlanta use record labels to cover their criminal activity. Now, for those that been with me, remember when we spoke about this in the YNW Melly case, and I had the video called YNW Melly Are LLCs the New Backdoor for the Rico? Now, I've already tried to explain this to y'all. They're not really targeting these gangs in the street per se, but the rap labels and the rappers are kind of trying to, I'll say, cover it up. Not even that. If you got a talent in your hood and you got some people around you, some of them people might have been in jail, et cetera, et cetera. So they're just putting 2 and 2 together now, and they're getting smarter about the situation. I'm trying to warn y'all. Now let's get to Lil Durk. Georgia's top prosecutor, Fani Willis, is set to announce charges against drill rapper Lil Durk soon. According to MTO News, Durk's legal team is preparing for a possible criminal indictment against their client. An insider told MTO News, Durk's lawyer says the Georgia prosecutors have arrested people associated with Durk's label, OTF, and are offering them deals to flip on Durk. The insider continued, it's only a matter of time before someone flips and accepts a deal to implicate Durk. The insider continued, they're trying to link Durk to a gang. He's not with the gang. OTF is a label, not a gang. That's the same argument Young Thug's attorney made about his Young Slime Life YSL record label and his alleged Young Stoner Life YSL gang. Rappers Young Thug and Gunna are currently being held in jail without bond until their trials are in January 2023. Street sources say Durk is the leader of the Only Trey Folks, OTF gang, a branch of Black Disciple gang in Chicago. Durk, real name Derek Banks, seems to know his time is running out. He deactivated his Instagram page over the weekend, but he reactivated it on Monday to earn some cash. Okay, all that information is according to MTO News, right? And in no way I'm trying to discredit MTO News, but I got some questions about this because at the end of the day, when you have information from an insider, we don't know who this individual is or we don't know what's going on. And also, we have a GBI gang list that was leaked. Listen to what I said, leaked. So we don't know who leaked this or even if this is real, but we're going to go with it because a lot of the news sources are really putting this out. I did my research and I found it on several news sources. But the one thing that gets me is I can understand the Lil Baby situation because you can see clearly 4PF on this list. But I don't see anything with OTF nor Black Disciples on this list, although Durk was down there. Now, we all do know Durk has some problems down there and still has a case open. And if you don't remember that case, we're going to get to the clip, we're going to play it, and come back and talk about it. Let's get to that clip now. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Audio Crack 22 on all platforms.
A Chicago rapper faced an Atlanta judge today 4 months after a shooting at the Varsity. We streamed the hearing live on our WSB TV News app as it happened. And new at 5, Channel 2's Lori Wilson learned new details about how money, jewelry, and cars could all be tied in with this shooting. Lori is live downtown near the Varsity. Lori?
Jovita, rapper Lil Durk turned himself in after a shooting across the street in the parking lot of the Varsity. A detective on the stand today said the rapper, who is used to being in front of the cameras, was actually caught on cameras at the Varsity, the BP here, and other businesses that put him at the scene of the crime. Right before rapper Lil Durk turned himself into Atlanta police, he gave Channel 2 Action News investigative reporter Mark Winnie an exclusive interview.
You're about to surrender as we speak. Yeah.
How come?
Because I have nothing to hide. Like, I have nothing to run from.
2 weeks later, Durk, whose real name is Durk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant, Devontae Bennett, were in court hearing APD Detective Jeffrey Churchill lay out evidence against them.
I spoke to a witness who was there at the scene when the incident took place.
Churchill said the witness told him she was standing outside talking to Banks and Bennett in front of a cigar bar around 5 in the morning, February 5th, when they saw a fight in the car in front of them.
Mr. Banks pulled out a weapon. They hear gunfire.
Banks and Bennett sat and listened to the evidence against them as prosecutors worked to make the case that this was gang-related.
Do you know Mr. Banks to be self-admitted member of the Black Disciples criminal street gang organization?
Yes.
Prosecutors say Banks and Bennett are members of Chicago gangs, that they knew the victim, Alexander Weatherspoon, had $30,000, an expensive chain, and a nice car, and that's why he was targeted. Banks' attorneys tried to create doubt that the rapper did any shooting.
You don't see Mr. Banks shooting on the street at any time. The only time you believe he was shooting is when he was in the camouflage Jeep, correct?
That's the only time I could see him shooting.
After 2 hours in court testimony and statements by prosecutors and defense, the judge ruled there is enough evidence for the case to go to trial.
This court finds probable cause.
The judge found probable cause to move forward with all of the charges against Banks and Bennett, including criminal intent to commit murder as well as criminal gang activity. They'll be back in court in a month to ask for bond. Live downtown, Lori Wilson, Channel 2 Action News.
So as you can see, Durk still has this case open. There was an individual, a police officer, that sat there on the stand and said that he did see Durk shoot out the vehicle. Although King Von is dead, rest in peace to him now, they still have this case open. And what some people don't understand is there's another individual within this case by the name of THF Zoo, who is a close affiliate to Durk and OTF, and he went back to Chicago and got caught with some weapons and now fighting the case out there. So could this be when the MTO News was speaking of a insider that's looking to crack on Durk? Could that be him? We don't know. Lil Baby situation, I'm not really sure because he's been very quiet. Like, it's nothing that I could find when I'm looking through Lil Baby's past to say, okay, you running around with a lot of goons, y'all tearing stuff up, et cetera, like as you can do with Durk, because Durk, you can find several incidents where Durk in some situations with OTF, and I can understand where they're coming from. But again, Durk's not listed on this leaked GBI list, whether it's real or it's not. So, like I said, get in the comment box. Let me know, who you think is the next individuals that's going down? Do you think it just might be a street hybrid gang or a street gang? Or do you think it's a high profile like Fani said? Do you believe what Fani said? I don't know. You guys let me know. Until next time.
All I talk is crack, I can get the Rico. I put in the work and never, no nigga can ever just say that I look